Well, very happy to be talking to the guy that I've got on the phone with me last week. I think all of us in the racing community here in the Northeast kind of got a little reminder of what can happen to drivers behind the wheel. It's Fonda Speedway. Of course, their big weekend on Saturday of the 16th, Rocky Warner was involved in a hard crash on a restart. A lot of folks were praying for him, and here he is talking with us here today. I recorded this a little bit before 6 o'clock on Tuesday. You guys are getting it right after that. Let's out to Johnstown, New York. 42-year-old Rocky Warner joins us. Man, so happy, first of all, just to be talking to you. How you doing?
Yeah, well, doing better before you told everybody how old I was.
I thought it wasn't quite that high a number, but math is just math. But so you're okay today?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel pretty good. Physically, from the neck down, I've been really well. It's almost too good. I feel sometimes. The head's a little delayed as far as what's going on with the brain bleeds and stuff, but overall, just very lucky to be here. So I'm very thankful for everybody's support. It's been overwhelming, honestly. The amount of people, sent messages and calls, texts, and kept in touch with my wife, my kids. Overall, just showed a lot of general support. It's been great.
I looked at the picture. That's the one you're looking at, by the way, when you actually checked out of the hospital on the 19th. What did they find when you were in the hospital? What was the issue?
The biggest main concern is the brain. I have two brain bleeds on my head, so I'm not a doctor. I don't really know a lot. And honestly, Albany Med was kind of a zoo. When I was down there, I spent, 3.5 days in the emergency room pretty much, which is kind of unheard of, but they had a lot of stuff going on down there, so I didn't get a whole lot of information on everything. They called me afterwards. I called the doctor's office and the surgeon, talked to him on the phone afterwards, and they're the ones that kind of gave me my restrictions that I wasn't super happy to hear about. It's just, the two brain bleeds is really what the big concern is. My body itself, somehow, some way, I not even a scratch on me as far as my neck down. Somehow, with my helmet on, I got a bunch of scrapes and stuff in my face. I just had my stitches taken out yesterday. The scabs are starting to pretty much fall off. So it's been a short recovery, I would say, for as far as everything's going. Got to wait it out with the brain bleeds. Hopefully, if I keep my blood pressure down and keep everything, do as they say as far as my restrictions, I should be good to go about a month from now or so.
Okay, so that means your season, unfortunately, is over, huh? From the racing standpoint.
Yeah, for the most part. I'm trying to. I don't want to push too many buttons, but I didn't know when I got out of like I said, it was kind of a zoo down there. So when I got out of the hospital, I thought it said do what you feel you can do. I said, well, I feel great. I said, we're going to go race the Outlaw 200, race third week.
Yeah.
We planned everything to rock and roll, and then we just kind of got blindsided by talking to the doctors afterwards, putting us on restrictions of doing everything. Kind of. I was. My jaw hit the ground. They said you're probably not going to do anything until your next doctor's visit to get another scan done, make sure that you healed up upstairs. But I don't think I've ever been right in the head per se, but I guess there's a little bit more wrong than I thought right now.
Okay, but you're going to be fine. That's what they're telling you, right? There's no long-term ramifications. You should be able to get back to what you're doing soon.
I don't think so. I mean, they haven't said anything, but I said I haven't ever had a chance to physically talk to them, sit down and have a nice conversation about everything. I feel sometimes my speech is off a little bit. Like when I'm starting sentences, I started with maybe a little stutter and stuff, but overall, everything's been pretty good. And I feel everything's going to be back to normal. I hope, I think it's just a matter of them things dissolving themselves and going from there. But I'm no medical major by any means.
Well, you told me you looked at the car and you were kind of surprised. I can't remember what phrase you used.
I'm just lucky to be here, honestly. Every time I look at it, I just see more and more damage and more things that could have been, done. And it's not by any means saying it's like the car's fault. I'm a very, very lucky human being. I just the way things happen and the way everything, just the angles of everything. I'm a very lucky person that I'm able to talk to if they'd let me, I'd race a lot of fighters too, honestly, because I don't like them, either way, like the car obviously did what it's supposed to do. It kept me here to be able to talk to you today.
Well, didn't you tell me your helmet was scratched or something? What did that?
Yeah, the helmet. I think to be honest with you, I think Mahaney's nose. He came on an angle like going from like I think I was spun out sideways, and I think he came on an angle that kind of came from the front to the back, and it like ricocheted up the front gate and hit the two bars on the side of my head. And I'm thinking maybe his nose piece got me in the helmet a little bit, because it hit the headrest, it had to hit, obviously hit all the bars and stuff. So like I said, I don't know, I don't remember it. I was knocked unconscious for a little while. I do remember getting hit by something. I just don't remember seeing it coming, I guess. But I'm thinking it had to have been his nose piece. I did find out a little bit of information from Randy Williamson. I talked to him when I was over at Malta. Kind of gave me some info I didn't know about these race cars of today. I guess a few years back, they had a meeting between all the big, the main engine or chassis builders. Bobby Hearn, so Billy Cole, Schroeder and stuff. And I guess the nose piece, I just thought the bar in front of the nose was to support the nose piece. And I think the measurement game is 26 inches. It's supposed to be 26 inches wide, so a car physically can't come into the driver's cockpit. And then they added that safety bar to give it a little bit more, so it can't come in on a different angle. And I had no idea. I just thought it was a bar to support the nose piece. You know what I mean? So I guess they had a meeting some years ago. I don't know, how long ago, something like that. There was some I can remember, but that was the deal they did for that reason, is to be able to stop a car from coming inside the cage. And realistically, he didn't come completely in the cage, and he came through on an angle, which by part of the car came in the cage. So I guess they did his job.
Yeah, and I'll talk to Randy about that when I'm seeing him at Dirt. We can actually point that out to you, because I know a lot of classes have something where they measure that bumper and make sure that they can't get into certain parts of the car. How much of it do you remember?
I just honestly, I remember starting the melee starting in front of me. It looked like almost like I call it like a train wreck. They one car goes one way, one car goes the other way, and they were kind of just piling up. And I tried to hit the brakes, and obviously I got hit from behind and got sent into it. Just kept getting hit. I usually look around and see what's going on, like if any more hits are coming, but I'd kind of just given up, honestly, because it was just sitting there. And then that last hit just took me for a whirlwind. Instantly, it was hard.
The other person that's in the picture, by the way, is Rocky's wife, Tammy. They've been together 14 years, married for a year. You told me she was your rock in the hospital and all those times. It probably still is today.
Oh yeah, most definitely. She's great. She was there the whole time from the ambulance ride. So the next day I had to call home to get some sleep. I'm gonna try to sleep here. But she was trying to sleep in a chair. Like I said, we're in the emergency room. There's no comfy chairs. There's no avenue for her to do anything as far as just sitting in a chair, really. So, I sent her home the second night or something. She was going home, going to sleep, but she'd go home after visiting hours, and she'd be there as soon as they were open back up. So, she was great. Kept me fed, kept me as somewhat sane, because being in the hospital that long or longer is tough. I'm usually on the go, busy. And that was kind of took a toll,
Yeah, I would imagine. So, well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're recovering. We'll check in with Rocky in a few weeks, but we are out of time here. I'm so glad you're okay, man, and we'll be thinking about you. And I'll give you a call in a couple weeks, and we'll give everybody an update and let them know how you're doing, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Again, Rocky Warner, okay. And again, a safety innovation that the chassis manufacturers put in may have been what actually could have prevented this from being a lot worse. So we'll get with them at Super Dirt Week, and we'll be checking with Rocky soon. Hit the subscribe, hit all that stuff. But good news, everybody, Rocky Warner is just fine.